think I do want to go long here again, just because this is giving me a good entry,
Order submitted.
right? So essentially, I'm trading, I'm getting in on this trade while the daily candle is red, right? I'm not looking at this daily low as a target with this big bullish candle from yesterday. I'm looking for a continuation into the equal highs and all-time highs, right? We look at the 4 hour, we're trading into a fair value gap. We do have this bearish candle that we can trade into, but yeah, just looking for this candle to flip and this be manipulation, right? Manipulation and then distribute into all-time highs. So let's see. Catching a falling knife just a little bit, I would say, because just trying to time when the market is going to flip, but because there was no real confirmation yet. Let's see if price just wants to slam down and take out some of this low resistance liquidity, or if we actually want to go for all-time highs today. Hmm. But this has been the story, man. Like I feel like I'm entering both times today. I enter and price just slams down. But it's all good. It's part of trading, right? I feel like price was taking its sweet time a little bit right there. Yeah, price could even come down and tap into this discount zone. My stop is still in a safe place, right? If price wants to do that, that's fine. But at this point, I'm just looking for this bullish candle to flip green, or this bearish candle to flip green, bullish, right? Hourly and 4 hour and daily. Nice and simple. Jofer, you caught a nice little sell here. That's not bad. Not bad. Yeah, I'm looking at this as just being manipulation. How far this manipulates, not really sure. And the whole day could be manipulation and consolidation, right? So we could consolidate all day like this and form low resistance liquidity. And then tomorrow we take it all and go for the all-time high. But it being a Thursday, I would not expect that to happen on a Friday. I'm expecting Thursday to engineer some liquidity like this and then run for the all-time high. So and I mean, when you're trying to trade, when you're trying to position yourself in a bearish candle, expecting it to turn bullish, I mean, you got to expect a little bit of drawdown, right? Because you are, you are trading against the lower time frame trend, right? So the 1 minute has been trending down, and I take my entry like this. So you got to expect a little bit of drawdown, but just buying when this candle's red. That's the idea. Yeah, I mean, missing that 30 points is fine. I think targeting that low there was fine. because this market could have easily swept out that low and then instantly started trading higher, right? Sometimes you don't know what you're going to get with the market. I mean, that's why it's good sometimes to wait for a confirmation. But that's why I like to wait for confirmation for the scale in. I don't mind trying to catch a falling knife a little bit right here if I'm expecting this to be a turtle soup play. Because once I get confirmation, you know, maybe this fair value gap inverts, then I can scale in one more time and trail my stop up. That would be my confirmation. And another entry, but right now just trending straight down towards that 2 standard deviation. Yeah, it is kind of holding the line there, isn't it? I'm wondering if this is just a little pullback, but if this 15-minute candle completely reverses and sweeps the high of this candle, that would basically confirm that this was a manipulation leg, in my opinion. Mm. And like I said, all we need is for the day just to come back and sweep this all-time high and this Asia high, right? Seems simple enough. Yeah, this is something that we talked about, right? We sweep the low and then we come back and we get a change in the state of delivery here. So if we get a 5-minute closure above here, I'll add into my position and I will trail my stop up below this low, and that would be my confirmation. But instead of getting my first entry up here at the change in the state, I got my first entry down here. But that was only because I was expecting this to be a manipulation. So a turtle soup entry, right? Now, I did have to sit in a little bit of drawdown here, right? Because I am catching a falling knife essentially. But it does give you an opportunity to get in on this trade a little earlier and then scale in and get more risk to reward. Again, just buying that candle when it's red, expecting it to flip. But we'll see. We haven't had any real confirmation yet. This is not enough of a confirmation to scale in on the trade yet. And then we did have SMT with ES here. So this is where NQ could start showing a little bit of strength, right? Since we had this SMT form. This is where we could finally start see NQ taking that high, right? Now, I would say if ES starts losing this low right here, then it could be in danger, right? Because then that confirms the SMT at the top and that ES and NQ are both weak, right? And if they're both weak, that's a sign that we will be just trending down all day. Yeah, in the next 7 minutes, I would really like to see this 15-minute candle take this high. I don't really want to see this candle be a consolidation. It's a little tricky here. Little tricky. But I'm keeping it simple, man. I mean, higher time frames are still bullish. Just I'm just positioning myself in this daily candle being red, right? It is tricky though for sure, because you look at these lower time frames, we had the consolidation, we're manipulating down, we could continue to trend, right? We could close below this candle and continue to trend down. However, I'm just expecting today's candle to be bullish on the daily time frame. So if I can position myself while it's red below the midnight open, we're chilling, right? But yeah, I'd say if this 10 a.m. candle here flips and it's bullish here, if it's green, we're in a pretty solid area. Be pretty solid. So feel like you've been thinking for hours. Yeah, it'd be like that sometimes, man. In the market when it's slow, we've only moved 400 points or 400 ticks, only 100 points, which is nothing for a session move, right? So we are gonna get some type of move, probably 600 to 900 tick range has been the average price movement, right? So got 3 minutes on this candle. Like I said, I did want to see price trade above this 15-minute candle here. But here we are. $30-minute could be closing in this range, which would be another good sign. Yeah, I don't like how this 15-minute closed as an inside bar, though. That's not favorable, to be honest. Now, I do notice there is SMT right here on the 1 minute time frame, where ES took out the low of that 15-minute candle, and NQ did not, right? So that is SMT on this super low time frames. Now, if we are going to continue lower and sweep these lows, I would want to see it happen in the first couple minutes of this 30-minute candle, right? So we sweep these lows and instantly trade back into the range. I would not want to see price continue to trend, obviously, because my stop is down here. But this inside bar candle is not something I wanted to see. I wanted to see this 10 o'clock candle get engulfed, essentially. So we'll see. All right. We've gotten nothing for the past 11 minutes. Straight consolidation. Man, these 10 a.m. candles have been boring as hell. Same as yesterday. Yesterday's 10 a.m. candle just did nothing. Stayed within a 200 tick range. Right now, we got the 10 a.m. candle, 260 tick range. See some movement. Trying to get through the breaker block. Yeah, I would say, if we get a change in the state above here, we're pretty solid. But we're just chilling around, man. Consolidating. The more it consolidates, though, you know, the less I would have confidence in this trade, right? Because I don't want to see it consolidate and make another big move to the downside, right? Now, if this is going to be a true manipulation leg, I would want to see price start distributing pretty soon, right? The longer it chills around here, the more likely it is to consolidate and just go lower. And then we'd just be offsides again, you know. Hourly still looks good though. Yeah, exactly. Market doesn't care what we feel at all. But I've been trying to adjust my mindset a little bit and just say, hey, where can I position myself um, for a high probability trade? Like to me, it seems like the price wants to reach for this daily high for the day, like from 9:30 open all the way till 4 p.m. So if I have to hold the trade all the way to 4 p.m., fine. You know what I mean? I'm cool with that. But did price reach for the area I was looking for, and was my stop in a valid place if I'm wrong? You know what I mean? That's all I'm really trying to do. Because if I say that the market wants to go for this all-time high, right? But I'm on the 1 minute trading, every setup that I see, it's less likely, it's more likely that you're going to get stopped out, right? I mean, obviously, if you came to the market, like a lot of people are looking for all-time highs right now, I would say. So it makes sense that the market wants to chop around and maybe manipulate a little bit lower before going to all-time highs. Because I know people got suckered in, because I did too, thinking that we were going to break out and go higher, right? With this candle right here. These two candles, the 930 or the 940 and the 945 candle, these two 5 minute candles, a lot of people were buying in here, and what happens? Price instantly slams down. And I was positioned way up here. So I cut my trade early, because I see price wants to start trading down. I cut my trade early and I repositioned myself below the midnight open. So now I got a better position. If price comes back to like this area, I've already recouped my losses and I get a chance to scale in, right? So yeah, getting an hourly closure here back in the range could be good. And it would be the first hour of the 4 hour candle. I would say that this would be good to look at this as the daily low, right? If we start closing this hourly candle back in the range, because we're sweeping sell side liquidity, we're trading into standard deviations, we're trading into the 4 hour fair value gap. We've gotten past all the news events now. Now we can just have a clean move to the upside and this be the daily low. Right? Wrong. Slams down. Stop loss. Yeah, the market always humbles you, though. The market will always humble you. Literally, man. Literally. Just right to the liquidity. Let's get up here and then scale in this trade again. I'm gonna get some water real quick. Right back. All right. We're getting that hourly candle flipping bullish. Maybe getting it flip bullish. Same with the 4 hour. It's a pretty good 5-minute closure. I would say if this next one closes above here, we could be pretty solid to scale in this trade, right? Which would put my stop loss at these lows. Yeah, like I said, if we can get this 15-minute candle to close above here, also it would be a 5-minute closure above here. I would say we're pretty solid for it to continue higher here. ES is about to take out the highs again. ES cannot be stopped. Yeah, that's so true, Frank. That is so true. It's like having a bias, you know what I mean? And I think that's why you go switching biases around and stuff like that, and you're trying to buy and sell in the same session, then you're not really standing on your word, you know what I mean? You're not really holding confidence. You're trying to YOLO a little bit. I think if you just come to the market and you have an idea of where price wants to go for the session and standing on that, I think you're in a lot better spot. Take 1 to 2 setups that might present itself. supporting that idea and then accepting that loss if you're wrong, right? So got 1 minute on this candle. I do want to see it trade above here and close. Really taking its time.
Connection lost.
Having trouble sometimes being in and out. Uh, yeah, I mean, being able to accept when you're wrong is big, man, in the market. It definitely is. And I think the faster you can learn to accept that and just move on with your day and go on to the next day. Because the more you expose yourself to the market, the more likely it is you're going to fail, right? Any successful trader says that too. Any of the great traders, less is more. If you see, like 7-figure traders and 8-figure traders, they in like a 6 month span, they might only take like 10 to 20 trades. It's crazy. It's like all the criterias meet and it's like perfect case scenario. And I'm not talking about like future traders. I'm talking about traders that trade stocks, you know what I mean? Finding the perfect setup on some of these stocks. ETFs. And I really want to see this move a little bit. Yeah, we did have a little inversion right here, little 15-minute inversion. Very slow price action for a Thursday though. Very slow price action. Yeah, afternoon might get that run up into all-time highs, right? But I am expecting this hourly candle to be the low of the day. And this daily candle obviously flipping bullish, like we've talked about many times. Hmm. Hmm. All right, so getting the first little bit of volume there. That's the first little spike we saw basically all morning, where there was a little bit of liquidity coming in. Price instantly ran a little bit higher there, breaking through those highs. Wonder if that was a an order coming in. I do like the idea of scaling in this trade and then putting my stop loss at the low, right? I'm curious to see if we trade back into this inversion and if we close as an inverted fair value gap, or if we close as a fair value gap here. Yeah, ES has been strong all morning, man. That could have been that little spike that we saw on NQ as well. ES was breaking those highs. This SMT is holding pretty solid, so just want to see NQ follow suit. We did get that hourly candle flip bullish for a little bit, right? Hourly candle, 4-hour candle as well. Would be a nice little daily wick, in my opinion. Standard deviation for ES. Yeah, look at that, the correlation with those two manipulation legs, -4. Yeah, interesting, man. that could be targets. These are very, very small body candles, so like this is not moving at all. Some of these candles less than 100 ticks. It's very slow. We're trading a distribution leg. I would want to see it trade like, leave behind some fair value gaps, trade, maybe in 30 minutes. Not taking all this time, right? I mean, we're getting up there, but slowly but surely. All right, we're going to get a pullback here on this 5 minute. 130 to 70. Stops would be below here if I scale in 3 more contracts. I do like that idea
Order
here.
filled.
I scaled in 3 more contracts here. I'm going to move my stop to here. Now I'm expecting this to be the low of the day. And I'm looking for this 4-hour candle to continue bullish and maybe take out high of the day. Also, same with the daily. I'm looking for the daily candle to flip bullish. So now we're scaled in pretty heavy here. Still risking the same. Just have my stop loss below the low now, instead of way down here. Let's see if this macro can pull us above these highs. If we start trading above these highs, I would say we're pretty good to go for the all-time high, the Asia high, and the all-time high. And that might be what the 11 a.m. candle starts to do, right? I've already recouped my losses from that first small loss. It was only a 0.3 R loss. Now, if we start trading above this midnight open, that's where we could see price maybe start to really take off. But we'll see. Would you say this was high resistance? I mean, we're not trading into high resistance, I would say, because we do have some liquidity building up here. Like this is low resistance. I look at high resistance a little differently. Like I think this is high resistance liquidity, right? Because we already swept this low. For price to come back and sweep this low again, this is high resistance liquidity to me, especially with SMT. But I'm looking at this as low resistance liquidity, right? But in terms of high resistance, what you're thinking, like price didn't instantly run for this buy side. Yeah, I mean, it's taken its sweet time, right? Because if this was a manipulation leg, a true manipulation leg, and this was true distribution, this would have happened a little bit quicker, I would say. This manipulation leg was good, right? So we had 3 candles here manipulate, but this distribution should have took off pretty quick. You know what I mean? Like all of this here, you know what I mean? I don't think was very clean, right? I would have want to see a nice little fair value gap right here around 1020 to 1030, a change in the state, and then big body candles running into the all-time highs. So yeah, not super clean at all. But 11 a.m. coming in right now. The hourly looks really good at this point. You know, hourly swept that low. We're still trading below the midnight open, so anything buying anything below the midnight open is still good in my opinion. And honestly, we have you know, we have this inversion and then we have this fair value gap. We're balancing that price range after a manipulation leg. You know, all signs are kind of pointing up right now, I would say. And this 11 a.m. candle might just rip to the upside. Yeah, I would say we're in that distribution. Like it just definitely took some time. Definitely took some time. I'm going to add 3 more contracts again.
Order filled.
I'm going to move my stop here, trailing my stop. Same risk as before, just expecting this to continue to expand, right? Just continuing to scale in this trade because I had such a good entry down here. Yeah, we had a good entry and like I said, you know, we sat in a little bit of drawdown, but that's the benefit of sometimes just buying when the candle is red, right? Like you might sit in a little bit of drawdown, but you also can get a really good solid first entry, and then you can scale in and maximize your risk to reward even more when price is moving in your favor, right? Joe for leaves for 10 minutes and we're scaled in 6 more contracts. uh yeah, we're heavily scaled in this trade right now. Yeah, this is basically a mini. Basically a mini. But yeah, just noticing where, I mean, we're in that distribution phase, and now anytime I scale in, it's just averaging my position up very, very slow, right? Or very small. So I'm already so heavily in profit that, it's just running in my favor right now. Yeah, overall it was pretty solid. It's not playing out as smoothly as I thought, but we'll see. We're still not out of the woods yet. We have to take that high. If we take that high, then I'll move my stop to break even. So, but there's still room for this to trade into some of these fair value gaps. But we have our stop loss right below those lows. So I just got to be really careful with the trailing drawdown on these eval accounts. Because I'm scaled in 9 contracts. If this goes in my favor, like, you know, if this goes in my favor, like $1,800, and then it comes back and hits my stop loss, it blows the accounts right there. So that's the only thing with scaling in this heavy. And there's an opportunity to scale in again. Right there. All you need is 5 points. Yeah, I'm curious to see if this just runs here, right? Now, if I scale in one more time, that's gonna put my stop loss pretty tight. My stop loss would essentially be right at that fair value gap. So we can kind of all in this trade, I think, if we wanted, to be honest. Since our first entry was very, very good, but we could see a quick spike down into this fair value gap. That's the only bad thing. That's the only bad thing here. Yeah, we put our stops right there. Hourly looks pretty solid to at least run for these highs, but we are forming some low resistance liquidity though. You can see not a single low has been ran on these 5-minute time frame, on this 5-minute. So since 10:25, we haven't had a low get ran on the 5-minute. Yeah, that's that's a little concerning. Kind of been straight bullish. But damn, this shit is slow. Eric's funny, man. 10 contracts, all in, 5 points. Make or break. It's 100 micros, man. That's crazy. Oh man. He dies, he dies. Oh, look at that spike. That was kind of intense. Hmm. All right, I'll scale in one more time
Order
here.
filled.
And now this will be the last scale in. Because now stops, if I scale in anymore, my stops would be basically above this inversion and this fair value gap. And there's still a possibility that we could trade back into this level. So I can't really scale anymore on this trade, but I mean, essentially still risking the same. 600. So let's see. I might get cooked here though. I might get cooked. I could see price doing a quick liquidity spike and stopping me out, right? Which would be kind of crazy. Yeah, it does seem like there could be a quick liquidity grab on some of these lows here. That's my only concern. But we are positioned so well in this trade, I feel like, that we had the opportunity to scale in a bunch, right? You know, had our first entry down here. I think second entry was right here. And then third and now fourth. Uh 337. It's good entry, bro. Very good. Very good entry. Yeah, we're in 12 contracts right now, man. We are going crazy. Going crazy. Hey man, if the setup's there, can't be scared, right? Can't be scared. Yeah, we might be able to scale into 100 micros on this trade. From the way this is going, maybe. Hourly still looks pretty good, right? Now we're starting to get that green candle follow through from 11. That's so true, Jofer. So true, bro. Everybody's got something to say about trading styles, you know what I mean? If someone's profitable, I mean, doing their strategy, you just leave them be. But a lot of people got stuff to say, oh, that's gambling. Ah, that isn't the proper way to trade. Ah, this and that. That's not following a system. But I mean, like, there's a reason why people are consistently profitable, and if it works for them, I mean, there's no one size fits all. I just wish people would be a little bit more open, you know. But it's human nature to be a hater, man. It's just human nature. I think if you could shift your mindset from that, it changes your life completely. If you can shift your mindset and be not a pessimist about everything, but an optimist, and kind of look at the world half full instead of half empty, I think it changes your life, man, for sure. But yeah, this runs to all-time highs. I look like a genius. If this hits stop loss, I look like a giant idiot. That's just a gambler, right? But that's the nature of trading, because it's so 50-50 sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, you don't know what the market's going to do. Nobody knows what the market's going to do. But, I can manage my risk here. I can manage my risk. Yeah, when your draw is right, that's what's most frustrating, right? If I took this trade here and then I got stopped out and I didn't re-enter, and then price ends up going to all-time high, that's pretty frustrating for sure when you're right about your draw. That's why I kind of give myself two setup opportunities, right? Two chances to get in on the trade. And then at that point, if it's not supporting, at that point, just walk away, because you got to protect your capital at some point. But yeah, it definitely is frustrating where price goes where you want it to go and you didn't get an opportunity, or you took an L before that. But like yesterday, I was completely wrong about the daily low being the draw. You know what I mean? So it's completely wrong about that, and that's perfectly fine. And at least I didn't take more than one loss. You know what I mean? Being wrong about a trade idea. Man, we just keep stacking low resistance liquidity though right here. Let's look at the 1 minute. Yeah, look at this 1 minute, man. It's a little scary. We could take out these lows pretty quickly. That is the only bad thing. We're getting some 15-minute fair value gaps coming here. some voids. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing some of these 5-minute lows get ran, but it's all a matter of how far this is going to retrace, right? But it might not. It might just run straight for these highs. Yeah, we're just stuck around that midnight open though. Anytime we come to that midnight open, we're getting a reaction off of it. But see if we can get a run up into these highs. I'll probably take profit at these highs here, to be honest. Just because I'm so heavily exposed right now that I wouldn't want the trade to come back to my stop loss and blow the accounts, right? I saw Rush Hour like, I don't know, maybe like 10 years ago, man, 15 years ago. It's been a long time. Push the damn button. I think I remember that slightly. I'd have to watch the movie again. Yeah, it's been so long, man. Hmm. Come on, NQ. Run. The gif, the meme. Taking forever. Again, just looking at that 4-hour. That 4-hour flipped bullish. And now we're just waiting. Are we gonna break through? Are we gonna break through to the 400s? Are we gonna break the 90s? Got 390 holding pretty solid there. I wonder if we break through to the 400. Yes, it's trading back down into a little volume imbalance there. 5-minute fair value gap. Or 15 minutes, excuse me. 15-minute looks a little cleaner. NQ is a lot stronger on this candle. That's interesting. Yeah, probably just take profit around these highs, honestly. That'll recoup the losses and then some from yesterday as well. Really struggling though to get up there. This distribution leg wasn't as clean as this manipulation leg by far. Definitely taking its sweet ass time getting there. Well, we're gonna push higher. We're gonna push for the highs. Got a long stream today, boys. Going for 2 hours. Yeah, it might break that 400. Let's see. Let's see. Still stuck in this consolidation a little bit. Doesn't quite want to get to 400s. Yo, what up, Alex? How's it going, man? Might see a little manipulation down into this 15-minute fair value gap void. Definitely possible. Or we just run higher right here, right now. Hmm. All right, so we got that 15-minute candle closing in a minute. Yeah, like I said, I think we are scaled in just about as much as we can scale in. Look at this 1 minute. Really just consolidating here. This midnight open is like a magnet, man. Today. Hmm. All right. So 11:30 coming in right now. Let's see. These long guys outside. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but they're going crazy. The mowers. The mowers in the background. Boring as shit, man. Boring as hell. I'm curious to see if this 15-minute candle comes back into this fair value gap. This void right here. We see some type of reaction off that level. There's that tap into the fair value gap. Let's see. It's pretty quick. It's pretty quick. Right, and on the 1 minute, we'd be trading outside of that consolidation, which would be a quick liquidity grab. Which was a 30-minute fair value gap. Yeah, I think I was gonna scale in 3 more contracts, but this fair value gap is still at risk. But
Order filled.
it's all good. We'll scale in 1 more. Stops are now below here. Scaled in 1 more time. We're now in 15 contracts. Now, if we come back and we retest this inversion, that's where we could run into some problems, huh? And that might be a possibility, but let's see. Stops are really tight here. Really tight stops. But yeah, just looking for this high to get ran at this point. I would say now with this 5-minute manipulation and the 15-minute fair value gap retests, if we start trading above this high, it's going to look pretty solid to go higher. 30-minute looks really good though. Trading into that fair value gap right there. Want to see a pretty strong reaction in the next 9 minutes to go higher. Hmm. Yeah, scaled in pretty heavy though. If we get any type of slippage down into this area, if we had a quick liquidity grab for like 30 points, it's gonna slip us and torch the accounts, right? So definitely definitely a little risky being this exposed, right? Take a creatine and hit the buy button. Oh man. That's funny, man. Yeah, it's just a matter of how far this dip wants to come. Now we are in a distribution mode, so we should just grab some liquidity here and just soar to the upside. This 11 a.m. candle kind of rejecting midnight open and some of this consolidation though, so we shall see. We shall see. But yeah, we also could have had like a set and forget type mentality where we just buy here and then we could have moved our stop loss to break even at this point or in profit and then just let it run, right? But we're kind of, I would say we're over trade managing right now. You know, scaling in this much and you know, trying to milk more profit out is a little bit ambitious. I would say scaling in back here and then moving stops to break even would have been a better play. But we're just being super aggressive right here, scaling in this much. But yeah, it wouldn't have been bad to scale in at the inversion of this 15-minute and then go break even at that point. Hmm. He's slamming doors. It just made me jump like crazy. Literally. Oh, this ain't closed. Yeah, it should be a nice little manipulation leg out of this consolidation. I've basically been in profit now for over an hour. So let's see if we can continue to ride this. Yeah, we'll see. I think this 15-minute candle needs to start flipping though and trading back towards this high. The longer it kind of stays down here, the more this manipulation leg could trickle down here, right? And retest some of this area. Really curious to see if we come back and retest that inversion. It's definitely possible, but we'll see. I think price wants to trade to the opposite side of the range now that we swept this low. Hey, hey, knock it off. What are we thinking, boys? We thinking we go higher here? I think so. Let's see. Let's see what the 1 minute looks like. 1 minute looks, I don't know, consolidating. All right, I got 4 minutes on this 15-minute candle. Respecting that fair value gap void is a really good sign. Taking the low of that 30-minute candle. Now I want to see it take the high. All right. All right, getting a little antsy here. Yeah, I'm definitely getting exhausted looking at the market here. Getting a little antsy. Ready to be done. To be honest. The market's gonna be like, oh, you want to be done? You want to be done? Slam stop loss. Yeah, ES is starting to look a little bit weaker, but not too bad. Oh, brother. It's so close to these highs. Like it wants to take these highs. I know it does. Right? Like we have this low resistance liquidity. It wants to take these sellers from the pre-market. There's no way it doesn't. But is it going to take my stop loss beforehand? Maybe. Yeah, we got a nice little 30-minute busy here as well that we're tapping into. Stops are below this bullish candle. Now, if we start disrespecting the discount of these two candles, then, you know, then we hit stop loss. But I mean, I guess in hindsight, like these 15-minute candles were clean, but man, it felt like it took forever to get there. Like you look at the 1 minute, it's just like just slowly getting up there, slowly getting up there. But I feel like it definitely wants to take those highs. All right, so 11:45, another 15-minute candle, not really doing much. Sweeps the lows though. I like to see that. Sweeping the lows, closing back in the range. This 15-minute candle looks solid to flip and take the high. And instantly trading higher there. Again, 1 minute just dancing around. 15-minute instantly took that high, so I wouldn't want to see the low of this candle start to be ran. I would say if this 15-minute low starts to get ran, then we trade lower at this point. Yeah, I don't want to see the low get ran, so I might move my stop to break even here, to be honest. All right, Jofer, I'll catch you later, bro. Yeah, we did a longer stream today. Did a lot longer stream. Yeah, I got that 15-minute closing back in the range there, respecting that fair value gap void. I think it might be smart to go break even, to be honest. Or maybe we secure some profit for the day. Yeah, I've been consolidating now for 40 minutes. 40 minutes of consolidation. Yeah, I think it's got to go like now. Like now. And I think if we start breaking the low of this 15-minute candle, then we start retracing a little further. Because at this point, we've retested the fair value gap. We closed back in the range. We swept the high of this 15-minute candle. Now, this could be a liquidity grab to go lower if we break that low, right? Yeah, it ain't too bad to secure some profits here, to be honest. I think at this point we definitely go break even. This is like a 1-to-1 essentially. I mean, shit, we're trading this high. We might as well go for the highs now, huh? Hey, delivery. Bro, these gifts are ridiculous, man. Bruh. All right, come on, NQ. Get up there. Oh, right when I say something. Maybe I need to say that more. Let's go. Let's get that push. 1150 lunch macro coming in, huh? So at 1050 and 1150, we had two spikes like that. That's kind of crazy. We had two liquidity spikes right at 1050 and 1150. There might be something to those macros. But yeah, like I said, we start sweeping the high of this 30-minute candle. I'm going to expect price to continue to take these highs as well. Ooh, that spike through that high right there. Spike through that high. 5-minute has a little volume imbalance here with that macro coming in, so I'm curious to see what happens here. If we just continue to spike through. See if we can get a push through these highs right here, right now. Looking for that pre-market high to get ran to it and through it. How far am I from passing the evals? I took a couple losses, so they're at 51,000 right now. I think I need 3,000 profit, right? And then if I took profit here, I'd be up, I'd be only one trade away from those. I only have 5 evals right now and 2 PAs. So I just wanted to get back from New York and just, you know, take it a little slow. Yesterday I took a small loss, but I followed my rules, my discipline. Came back refreshed, man. Super motivated when I came back yesterday. Even though I took that loss, it didn't phase me at all. You know, so just super motivated to follow my system right now. Super, super happy about that. So just gonna trade these 5 evals and then go from there, right? So getting a pretty big reaction off of that high, man. I don't want to see that. I just want to see it trade through really quickly. But we could get a reaction off of this volume imbalance, right? 5-minute volume imbalance. All right, so the next 5-minute candle coming in 30 seconds. But yeah, I was already up 1,000 on this trade, so if it comes back and hits break even, I'm basically in drawdown 1,000. It's funny how the trailing drawdown works, but yeah. That's what sucks. Like if you were on Top Step or My Funded Futures, you wouldn't have that trailing drawdown problem. But that's what's tough about Apex. All right, so that 5-minute candle coming in here. I just want to see that final push in this last 5 minutes. So maybe trade into this volume imbalance. And then we skyrocket, right? All right, so getting that retest here. See if we can trade higher now into these highs. Price is really, really struggling though. Look, it's leaving these equal highs again. We could see the PM, the 12 PM candle run for that high really quickly. God damn, NQ. Damn. I thought for sure it would run for it right there at 1150. Not gonna lie. NQ is more toxic than my ex. Honestly, today it's being a little stubborn for this level. There's got to be a lot of people buying the market now, right? There's got to be a lot of people in buys. Man, do we just lock it in? Do we just lock in some profit for the day? Maybe. It's possible. I'm thinking I want to see what the 12 PM candle does. I mean, 15-minute looks okay. I don't want to see it close back in the range, but all right, yeah, that 12 p.m. candle might do a quick spike into that volume imbalance. Either way, it still looks clean, in my opinion. Still looks pretty clean. All right, so 20 seconds. Lunch hour coming in. I'd laugh if the 12 p.m. candle just slams down towards break even. All right, there's that volume imbalance trading into. Now this is where I want to see heavy reaction. Heavy reaction off this volume imbalance. All right, so we're balancing this price range here. Stops are below this 1 hour low, so I mean, looks pretty solid still. Still looks solid. This is what I wait 2 hours for.
Order canceled.
That's what I wait 2 hours for? No. Bro. 2 hours for break even and just 20 ticks away. 5 points away from take profit. Wow. Okay. All right. I see how it is. That's funny. All right. That's going to do it. That's going to do it for the day. That's going to do it.